see you.
Yeah, same.
We always find your squad selections fascinating, but this one feels
really?
more than ever. Jude Bellingham.
More than ever?
Well, I'll get on to that. But the thing is, Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden back in, two of the biggest names, two of the big special players, as you call them.
Yeah.
The discussion starts now, I guess, on how you get them all into the side and what their best positions are. So what's your thinking?
Well, first of all, we are delighted that they are back. I think the contribution of both of them to their clubs lately was immense. They play regularly, of course. They play a big part and a big role in the success of Real and City's matches lately. They score regularly, decisive goals. So we're delighted that they're in shape, in form, and back with us. Jude comes back as a number 10 position. I think that's his best position, and I think one of his key strengths is to score from this position, and he has the ability to arrive and to score goals that a number 9 would score. So he scores tap-ins, he scores one-touch tap-ins inside the 6-yard box, which is very unusual, which seems then seems sometimes easy goals, but to arrive in these positions in the right timing, in the right moment is a key strength, and is one of his key qualities and outstanding qualities. So we will try to find a space there for him as a 10 to arrive in these 9 positions and score for us. I think Phil, where he played now lately for Dortmund, was where I see him the strongest. I think he's close to the opponent's box, maybe a mix between a 9 and a 10, close to the opponent's box. For me, Phil scores and assists more from the 18-yard box. Where he scored against Dortmund. He's on the half turn, then he assists, he's in the pockets. So I think the main thing with Phil is that he gets a role in the central part of the pitch. I don't see him as a winger at the moment, and maybe not anymore. He should have a central role. I think that brings out his strengths the most. We talked about this already with him. So he will contribute as a 9.5, 10.5-ish position, very fluid, but in the middle of the pitch to be close to the box, be able to assist and to score like he did against Dortmund.
Interesting, thank you. Lots of defensive midfield options in this squad now. Elliot Anderson has done so well for you there in the last 4 games. Yeah. And you've surprised us a little bit by calling up both Adam Wharton and Alex Scott for the first time. Can you explain that one to us? Yeah,
of course I can. 2 different positions, 2 different profiles. Adam, we tried for the 3rd time to call him up. I hope he stays fit and is able to come. I think one was a concussion protocol and eye problems, and the next one was groin problems that held him back. You're right. Elliot did very, very well for us in central defensive midfield. But he suffers a little bit from he plays through pain and discomfort at the moment. Nothing major, so I think he will be involved in the weekend's match for Forest. But we are aware of that, so we added Adam to the team. First of all, because he deserves. Second of all, because we need to learn about him in our environment, what he can bring to our squad, and prepare ourselves if Elliot is maybe not able to play both 90 minutes. Don't forget Jordan Henderson, please, because we have both options. Both of them did very well in their clubs and did very well for us. But Adam is an add-on on the number 6 position now in camp. And Alex deserves to be with us. I mean, I first closely saw him in the Euros with the under-21s, where he did excellent together with Elliot Anderson in central midfield and played a huge part in the title win for the under-21s. Since then, he stepped really up and is a regular starter for Bournemouth, who are overperforming constantly in the league. And I think he came now a long way, and he performed his way into this nomination. And he will come as a number 8. gets a number 8 role, and hopefully he can prove us right and show us his talent and personality.
Hi Thomas, it's largely the same squad as you try to continue to build that club feel you've mentioned. Do you say to the players directly, this is who you're up against, players both in and out of the squad, this is the player you've got to do better than?
Well, it's not up against, because I truly believe that we in international football, we should work as a team, and we should even, like, if we compete for a position, we should still support us, and the players should bring out the best in this situation of concurrence. But in terms of clarity, the players know in which position we basically plan with them. It will never hold us back to change in matches. It will never hold us back to react to training performances or to slight injuries. For example, if you remember the last match against Wales, we then put Ezri Konsa on a right fullback position and played with Mark and John in the central defense. And Ezri came into camp as a central defender. So this is always possible, because some of the players have, of course, the profile to be available on more than just one position. But in terms of clarity, the players know where they are competing and where they need to perform and whom they need to outperform to be in the squad. Yeah.
And Miles Lewis-Skelly has dropped out of this squad, you said last time. It wasn't enough just to be a good teammate, it was just a case of lack of game time at his club.
Yeah, Miles was a very good teammate and played for us in last camp in the qualifier in Riga. So was Ruben Loftus-Cheek, so was Morgan Gibbs-White, so was James Trafford. But I said last time, there's also a component to it that it is about competition, it's about performance, and the door is always open for guys who perform on a regular level and on a high level. So yeah, Miles and Ruben, Morgan Gibbs-White got outperformed from Nico, from Alex Scott, from Nick Pope, and from Jude, and in their positions, and yeah, door is always open. Miles simply needs more starts, more minutes. We selected him the last camps despite his position at Arsenal, but now came a time where Nico O'Reilly had so many starts in his position, so he's slightly ahead for this camp.
Hello, Thomas.
Hi.
What conversation did you have with Jude Bellingham coming back into this squad? You made it very clear you've given him the 10 role. Is it nice to then be able to give them that precise direction in terms of coming back into the squad? And is it good to have given him those international breaks off to keep him fresh coming back in?
Yeah, I guess so. That was the decision for last camp, and he accepted the decision. And he did what he does best. He competed on the highest level, and he showed that he deserves and has to be in the squad. So that's why he is in the squad. I will not reveal my confidential and private conversation with players here in public, but I think it's not a surprise for him to compete for us on the number 10 position. I think he knows from me, and I think he sees himself as a number 10. Like I said, I feel that his key strength from the number 10 is to find number 9 positions, and that he has this hunger and determination to score. This is what we see now for Real Madrid, and hopefully we see it next week for us.
There was a lot of noise around him in the last 2 camps. How have you assessed how he's reacted to that? He's achieved a lot in his career, but he's just 22 years old, a lot of his private life going on in the background as well. It's been probably a difficult few past month for him in terms of his career and his life. How's he handled it? Has the reaction been good from what you saw?
Yeah, amazing reaction, like in performance-wise, amazing reaction. And you're right, there's a lot of things going on. We're always here to help. We're always here to support. We're always here to be stable for him. There is no doubt about that. He is still young. If you look at his career, it feels sometimes he's 26, 28, but he's still a very young player. And he has our full support, and we want to provide a stable environment for him that he can show the level of performance that help us to be a better team.
Hi, Thomas. Ollie Watkins has been omitted from this squad. He's been a big feature of your previous squads. Could you explain why Ollie won't be with the squad this time? And also, I know that some England fans are concerned that he hasn't been replaced with another natural number 9, if you like, and a little nervous about what might happen if Harry Kane was to be injured.
No one needs to be nervous. We have a lot of good strikers. Ollie is one of them. We just understand. We understood, and we could observe it when we watched Ollie closely, that he is playing through discomfort at the moment, and it simply didn't make too much sense to bring him into camp in this condition. We then opted for the option to give him this break to get treatment and to be back in full physical capacity and in best shape, and then fight for the place again in March. We don't have this clear number 9 profile now behind Harry. Harry is the number 1 at the moment and a very complete number 9, of course, for us. But I think given different game scenarios, like I said, Anthony Gordon played there for Newcastle. Marcus Rashford plays there for Barcelona. In a match where we find, in a game scenario where we find maybe a bit more space behind the last line, this could be very valid options with a speed. And I think Phil can play a very fluid number 9 for us in this camp. So I think we have enough options to be dangerous. Jude comes back, who shows up regularly in 9 positions. So I think we will be able to create chances and convert them.
And how do you see your team selection and your use of the squad for these 2 matches? Obviously, we have qualified for the World Cup, but the strong, explicit theme of the last camp was more of the same, and the same starting 11 broadly being trusted to keep developing those relationships. But with the new names and the big names coming back in the squad and others as well, how do you see these 2 games for you in terms of selection?
It's the same headline, more of the same, please. Building and building on what we already built, and come with the same energy. We would have selected the same team if we needed both games to win. If it was a playoff to qualify for the World Cup, I would have selected the same team. This was basically the headline for us in the nomination process. Gave it a lot of thought. If the fact that we are already qualified should change this process of selection, we agreed within the staff and in these discussions that it should not. We see these 3 camps as a chance to grow close together. The September, October, November. We said this before, and why would we change that just because we are already qualified? It should give us a boost. It should give us trust in what we're doing. And we will, with this nomination, I think we are very clear, straightforward on that path of competition, that you can compete your way into this team. A door is never closed. And of course, the guys who join the party now, they have to make sure that they are valuable for the team, that they are in the best shape and the best teammates that they can be to keep this thing going, because the direction is right, the energy is right, and we want to build on that.
Hi, Thomas. You've achieved so much as a coach because of your high standards and because, rightly, your high standards and demanding of people around you. Has Jude got a similar character to that?
Has Jude?
Yeah, got a similar character. He demands a lot, as you do, of wherever you are.
Yes, he has. And he's not the only one. There are a lot of players in the squad who drive the standards. I'm very happy with that, because this is how it has to be. My standards and my beliefs and the way I wanna build the team should be driven by the main players, and that should be reflected by them and met by them, the standards. And this is what they do, and they are driving these standards on a daily basis. The 5, 6, 7 players that built the core, and I'm very happy with that. And Jude has, of course, these characteristics as well.
One of your elite players is Harry Kane. He's having a long season. Yeah. Obviously, Harry's very patriotic, wants to play every game. He loves scoring. He loves pulling on the shirt. But were you ever tempted even to broach the possibility of him having a few days off to ensure that he is fresh for when it really counts next summer?
Yeah, but not in November. Given the fact that I know that he has a break in winter, he's in the nice position to play in Germany, and I think that suits him very well to have this little break, given where he is in his career, and that's why he has no excuses for the next 2 matches.